So we're going to have to kind of figure out what this nomenclature is. The first step is we have to figure out which atom gets the 1 position. And it turns out that the bridgehead atom must always be in the 1 position. Now there are 2 different bridgehead atoms in all of these molecules. So the one you would pick would depend on maybe how close it is to a substituent, okay? But regardless, you're always going to give your 1 position to one of the bridgeheads, okay? So let's go ahead and look at this compound. The bridgehead would be either this one or this one. In this case, there are no substituents, so it doesn't matter which one I pick, but one of those would have to get the 1 position, okay? So let's just give the back one the 1 position. Then the next thing we do is we look at the actual format of the name, and what you'll notice is that a few things have changed. First of all, the prefix used to be cyclo if it was 1 ring, but now we're going to exchange that for bicyclo. Bicyclo just stands for the fact that it's a bicyclic compound, so anytime you have bridgehead atoms, anytime you have 2 rings or more conjoined together, that's going to be bicyclo, okay? Then notice that the end, okay, or the functional group would just be an alkane. And what's interesting about this is that we're going to sum all of the carbons together to get the name of this alkane, meaning that I'm going to count up how many carbons are in this entire structure, and that's going to be the name of my alkane, okay? So if we wanted to, we could go ahead and just use these first few steps on this compound, and we could say, well, this is a bicyclo compound because of the fact that I have bridgehead atoms. It also is going to be an octane because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. Now, is that the correct numbering? Absolutely not. Don't take that as me saying that's the way to number the alkane. I'm just saying that there are 8 total. I was just counting, okay? So that means this is definitely going to be a bicyclo-octane. But now let's talk about these funky numbers in the middle, because I know you're already thinking, how do I do that? Basically what we do is we figure out how many carbons are inside of these rings that are not bridgehead atoms, okay? So what I would do is I would say in this case there's 3 rings. Remember I taught you guys that in a bridged compound there's 3 rings. So you would say, okay, how many non-bridgehead atoms are in ring number 1, ring number 2, and ring number 3? Then we put them together using periods, okay? And we list them from largest to smallest. Okay? So I would start off with my largest ring here, end off with my smallest ring size there, and you might guess that the middle one would be in the middle at ring 2. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at this structure now. What I see is that I have my bridgeheads that I'll label right here, bridgeheads. And then what I've got is a few different rings. I've got the bigger ring, which is right here, so I'll call that one number 1. And what we'll notice is that I have 1, 2, 3 carbons that are not bridgehead atoms on that ring. So that means the ring size of this would be equal to 3. Okay? Then let's go to the next one. The next one would be over on this side. On this side, I would have 1, 2 atoms that are not bridgehead atoms on that side. So that means the size of this ring would be 2. And then finally at the top, notice that I only have 1 carbon in between my bridgehead atoms. So all I'm looking for is how many different carbons are in between these bridgehead atoms. In this case, I would only have 1, so that would have a ring size of 1. Okay? Now what I do is I go ahead and I put them together in order of largest to smallest, and that indicates that, all right, we've got an 8-membered structure, 2 carbons are bridgehead atoms, because you always have 2 bridgehead atoms, and then 3 carbons are in one ring, 2 carbons are in another ring, and 1 carbon is in the last ring. And that's what this color coding has to do with. So 3 would be here, 2 would be here, and then lastly 1 would be up here. All right? So now what I've done is I've just taught you guys how to basically name an unsubstituted bicyclic. But what if we actually need to number it in terms of substituents? How about if I have a methyl group coming off of this location right here? What location does that methyl get? Is it a 1? Is it a 2? Is it an 8?